Welcome to this very special edition of the Donniesport football show. We're coming to you from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, and it's a very special event here. It's the AT&T Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. 6 members are going in. Some of them we all grew up with. And I'm going to swing you around, show you who's all in the room here. We have that guy right there, Bob Golic, played for Notre Dame, and he was a part of one of the most miraculous Cotton Bowl games in history. I'm talking about 1979. How you doing there, Mike? That was Michael Conradi, by the way. Media genius here at AT&T Cotton Bowl. That's, like I was saying, Cotton Bowl 1979, and the ice and everything. He was a part of that miraculous comeback. That's right, 22 points down. Joe Montana just brings everything back. And how you doing? And there's a guy, the other guy that we were going to talk to, that was Eric Dickerson. We're going to talk to him. Tony Bolcelli, that's right there, Tony Bolcelli, played for USC, and he just, and I'll tell you more about him later, but right now let's go to, there's a local hook to everything here with the Cotton Bowl, and this guy's about as local gets. That's right. 1982 Cotton Bowl. Yeah. You guys, well, this is Eric Dickerson, by the way. SMU took on Pitt in that game. I remember it was kind of
very cold day. We won 7-3.
That's right.
Yeah, kind of the last couple of minutes of the game, we scored a touchdown.
That's right. And it was 7-3, and it was a defensive struggle. So that means one thing: the rushing game had to be huge, and you were.
Well, I had 127 yards, 125, 127 yards in that game on 27 carries. Didn't score a touchdown. It was slippery, wet day, cold. I remember one play, because I always tell the guys from Pitt this, some guys that I know now, Dan Marino and some of the guys. I said, if it wouldn't have been, if it wouldn't have been so wet, it was one play I came around the corner, but I couldn't make the corner because it was just too wet and cold and went around the lines.
And back then the Cotton Bowl was all turf. It wasn't.
All turf, yeah.
It wasn't grass back then.
No grass.
The Pony Express. You, Craig James, and that bunch. I mean, you guys had how much you impacted football back then?
Well, I didn't even think people really knew who we were. Because they didn't have all, they have now for television, ESPN and Sports Round the Clock and Fox. But when I got to the NFL, people were saying, "Man, you play the Pony Express, the Pony Express," and I was like shocked. But I mean, we thought we had a great football team, defense and offensively. We could run the football, run the formation. We know they stacked the line of scrimmage against us, but we still able to run the football.
That's right. And speaking of that particular Cotton Bowl, look at the impact that came out. You, Craig James, Dan Marino came out in that game. I mean, you look back in that game and how much those 3 players, including yourself, impacted the NFL in so many different ways.
I mean, I always played in the NFL. Dan, I was a first-round pick. I was the second pick in the first round. Dan was a first-round pick. I think the 29th pick in the first round. I think Craig was a USFL player, came and played for the Patriots. It was a lot of guys that played on that field that went pro. A lot of players. I don't know what we did for the league, but we tried to show our talent. In the National Football League. My rookie season in the NFL, I was Rookie of the Year. I beat out Dan Marino by 10. But it was a great game, and the guy had a great career in college and pros.
You've seen a lot of football, especially in current years now. Comparing the style of play where you were playing back then to now, you think the college game has gotten pass happy? All these run and shoot offenses, flinging the ball all around.
Well, I think all football teams try to mimic themselves after the pro teams. They really do. I think if the pros start passing the football, then they want to pass the football. The pros start running the football, they want to run the football. And I think everybody has to have a quarterback. I mean, you had to have a quarterback back in those days. You really did. A great defense and have to be able to have a running game. And now, everyone must have a quarterback. Throw the ball, 70 times a game. 60 times a game, run the ball, maybe 10 or 15 times. And, in our era, we didn't really do that. You kind of even it out. But now it's just really all about the quarterback.
Let me ask you a quick question. When you got the call,
here you are, Eric Dickerson, SMU, 1983 Cotton Bowl. Let's see, I'll tell you what. I'm going to try to get let's get this guy, because watching that particular Cotton Bowl back in '79, and he was a part of 2 impactful Cotton Bowls as well. The year before, when
it would be a great, you'd really enjoy it. I know, I can't even find my dorm anymore. Used to be able to see my dorm.
Let's see if I think over here. Yeah, that's off over there. That guy there, where's he wearing fur? Bet you know he coached in Texas there.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You bet.
Would
you like a bottle of water?
Thank you.
Are you thirsty? Like
Yeah, that's good.
One thing about the Cotton Bowl, they treat you like a king over here. They give you water, anything you want, you can have. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a guy. He coached the Texas Longhorns 3 times here in the Cotton Bowl, but there's one Cotton Bowl that just stands out to my memory for all kinds of reasons. And let me introduce him. Coach Fred Akers. How you doing? Welcome to the Donniesport football show.
Well,
yeah.
thank you for recognizing that we are going to still keep going on.
That's right, yeah. That's right. Now, you had some big shoes to fill when you took over Texas football. I mean, Darrell Royal, who was legendary, on top of legendary. Yeah. Hook 'em horns. Let's get that.
Thank you.
That's right, yeah. There you are.
I would turn my flash off, so I don't have a flash.
That's right. And what was it like? I mean, you come in from, if I recall, Wyoming, right? University of Wyoming.
Well, I came back from there. I was there for 2 years. And, they took Darrell out of the picture.
Yeah.
And it was, I hated that.
Yeah.
He deserved everything.
Yeah, he did. He deserved better. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. You took over. You had some great seasons with the Longhorns. You took them to the Cotton Bowl 3 times. One particular Cotton Bowl that just stands out, and I'll take you through it. Was 81, 82. You took on Paul Bear Bryant's Crimson Tide, Alabama.
82.
Yes, right, 82. And at the beginning it wasn't good. You were down 10-0. Things weren't exactly cooking the way you wanted to work. And then it did a slight tweak at quarterback. And I can go ahead and say this. I went to high school with Robert Brewer. And went to high school with him in Richardson. You don't believe how elated we were when he took over and scored that touchdown to beat Bama. I mean, what was Robert Brewer like as far? What intrigued him enough to recruit him and get him down to Texas?
Well, I'll tell you, Robert is the kind of guy that you will kind of throw him out of the way. He's not big enough. He's not strong enough. He can't sprint fast enough. We found out that was false good. It was good, but it was false.
Yeah, false. So he was.
That's what a drop back with flaring backs, and all they had to do was one block. One.
That's what, and
here he goes.
And that hole, it was a big gaping hole, and it was like you just drive a truck right through it. He just
It was.
yeah.
Well, I had we were going through the films afterward, and when all of a sudden our players were giggling about Robert, and they made him. He said it took 12 minutes for him to go 30 yards.
Don't take this the wrong way. I didn't recognize you without your hat on. That's the first thing I was going to tell you. Did you always have the hat?
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So I almost didn't recognize you without your hat on. That's number one. Number two, what's your fondest memory of coaching inside the Cotton Bowl and being part of the Classic?
Well, that's that has dwindled a little bit. Not between Notre Dame and Texas, and we don't care who we get ready for. And not to mention, I'm not blowing up, trying to cripple them. We don't do that. But it's good for football.
When you get the call that you were going to be inducted into this Hall of Fame, this Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame, what sort of emotions, what sort of things went rushing through you?
Well, it's an opportunity, and it's something that no one else can just walk on. It's my turn, and I think we can, just do the kind of football that we're going to play, and whatever it takes.
Can I get a picture with you if you don't mind?
Sure.
All right then.
Did you mind?
All right then. That was Fred Akers of. And let's see. That's Tony Bolcelli. I can go ahead.
I'm just going to grab this
Go ahead. That's right, the pride of USC, Southern California. How you doing, partner? All right, then. Welcome to the Donniesport Football Show, and
Thanks for having me.
all right then. USC, and if there was one thing I would know about USC, that no matter what position, you get legendary when you get special like that.
Well, I don't know about legendary, but sure, a fun place to go play football, and a lot of good players have played there. It's
That's right.
a tremendous tradition, and to be a part of that tradition, so it's quite an honor.
That's right, yeah. And you played on the offensive line.
Yeah, I played left tackle.
That's for left tackle. And offensive lineman from USC, and trying to think, that and a guy named Anthony, the brain just went blank on
Oh,
us.
Anthony Munoz, yeah, he's pretty good. He's not a bad player. Yeah, he set the standard for left tackle play in the modern era, especially in the NFL, and it's always fun. I mean, at SC, you can go through every position at SC, and there's an all-time great at one of those positions, and Anthony Munoz is, in my opinion, the best offensive lineman ever played the game.
That's right. Now, if I recall, that game against Texas Tech, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even close.
It was close to kickoff.
Yeah, but both teams showed up. But when you tend to envision how games turned out the day of, but did you envision a blowout the way it did?
No, you never envisioned that. We were confident. We felt like we had really good players, and we knew that we'd have a good chance, but to play well. But you never envisioned beating a team like Texas Tech. They had a lot of good players. A great linebacker in the NFL, Zach Thomas, was the starting middle backer. They were really good.
Yeah.
And we just played much better that day, so you never believe that's going to happen, though. All right, Tony.
All right, thanks, Tony. All right, then, boy, as we're moving around, it's Eric Dickerson's over there. Let's see if I can get a word with this guy here.
He's got some sports opinions. It would have driven them crazy, but now they're like, oh no, this is what people want. I mean, Just because you say they want.
They don't care what the majority of people want. I mean, if one person is offended that you're saying the Pledge of Allegiance thing, one nation under God, one person's offended, then all of a sudden nobody can do it. And it just amazes me that one person can have so much influence in a negative way.
And in the schools also.
In the schools also.
Places, okay, you're going next to you graduated with it, so what?
And it's turned into this litigious society that, and one of the reasons the schools do panic is because they don't want to get sued. I mean, they don't have the money to go up against organizations like, what is it, People Against Religion, the ACLU. A lot of times will sign up with the anti-religion people. So it comes down to, do you stick to your guns? But school districts, a lot of times, they don't take money. So it is small. Yeah. So now it comes down to guys having to be very careful what they say.
All right, well, I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, and there he is, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yes, the school with the Golden Dome, and this guy here, part of the offensive line that pretty much well, actually played linebacker, wasn't it?
Yeah, linebacker.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Bob Golic is his name. How you doing? Welcome to
doing
Donniesport.
very good.
Football
Thank you.
Show.
Thank you.
There's one particular Cotton Bowl I gotta ask you about.
Okay.
And many people ask you about as well. January 1st, 1979.
Okay.
The Ice Bowl.
Yes.
Close to it. You and University of Houston, and you guys were down 22 points. And what was the mood at that point in the game?
We were cold.
Yeah. Cold, freezing, yeah.
I remember we were obviously, we were playing a great team, so it didn't feel like this is not one of those teams where we're going to be able just to push our way back and to win. But once Montana went out there and started finding receivers and throwing the ball, in my class, we had watched Montana come back in so many games over the 4 years, our 4 years at school, that if anybody was going to do it, it was going to be Joe. But as the story goes, Joe had I don't know, he was like hypothermic at halftime. He was so cold, he was shaking. And so as the story goes, as time goes on, they took him to the locker room. At halftime, we all went in there. They gave him hot chicken broth, which they had for all of us. And then he goes back out and does the comeback. And so all of a sudden, the story became chicken soup. Saved it for Notre Dame.
Now, is that pretty much true? Or is that an urban myth?
Yeah,
that's all very legit.
Well, it wasn't
close enough to be.
It wasn't chicken soup. There were no noodles.
Okay,
it was chicken broth.
Chicken broth.
Yeah,
it was the liquid.
Yeah, it was definitely chicken broth. Yeah, it was something besides hot chocolate and hot coffee.
Something warm to get down as well.
Yeah. But it was always just like the funniest thing to see. Something your grandma goes, "Oh, honey, you don't feel good. Here's some chicken soup." And next thing you know, your quarterback's coming out of the locker room revitalized and making that comeback. It was just incredible.
Have you been part of any kind of comeback at any level more dramatic than that? As a team that you played on?
Not in a game of that magnitude. I played with Joe for Montana for 4 years, and so playing for Joe with that many years, you're going to play in other games that the comebacks are incredible. I mean, I think my sophomore year, I think it was his first comeback where they put him out there because they were really hesitant putting him as the starter. We had a lot of other guys that Devine was trying to put in, but against North Carolina, we were down. I don't remember how many points it was. We were down significantly. They brought him in, and he brought us back. I think the next year against Air Force Academy, we were up in Colorado Springs, and we were down 30-10 with about 10 minutes left in the game, and we came back and won 31-30. So it was because those damn people were flying those damn falcons at our heads.
Swooping down at you.
Yeah, they were swooping down. A lot of our guys couldn't, they were having flashbacks from the beginning of the game. But yeah, so with having Joe around, it was, you knew there was always a chance. And I know that sounds kind of cliche, but you truly, of anybody I've ever known, Montana was the guy that just always found a way to bring it back.
In this era of CTE, concussion concerns, etc., are you concerned about the future of football as a sport? Whether the next generation will play it enough or play it well enough to be at this level? What will football look like in 20 years?
Well, first off, my first concern is that it still exists as it does now. I mean, I hear people, non-football people, doctors and the like, that who would like to. Let's put it this way: when I heard somebody say we're thinking about having the offense and defensive line start in a 2-point stance. No getting down, no leverage, no hitting like that. It's just stand there. That way you can block each other, but nobody hits their head really hard. Then you start watching some of the calls, and I know the referees are getting a lot of push from the league to try and, make it look safer. Right. But the bottom line is, I mean, when I was in 6th, 7th grade, and I decided to play football. They handed me a helmet. I put it on and said, I guess I got to protect my head. I mean, it's like nobody was under any idea that you weren't going to get hit in the head a lot. Right. So it's just, and it became very surprising to me that everybody was complaining. And now, there's guys all the time that have to get knee replacements, and shoulder, things like that, and it's all resulting from playing the National Football League. Why would you think that the possibility of a head injury might not have lasting effects? In fact, my last year, one of my last years in the league, I remember getting dinged. Yeah, we didn't have concussions. We
just got dinged.
Yeah.
Come out
and then
for a couple plays.
They had a thing full of those little ammonia capsules. I actually have some around the house just on Sunday. I'll sit and watch football games and pop ammonia caps.
Yeah, just to keep
Yeah, I don't think there's a law against it.
There's not.
No, it's not.
I think I'm okay. Yeah, I get them legally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a prescription. It's not like I bring them in from Saigon or anything. The home of the ammonia caps.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't either. That's good. It's a good line, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Works for me.
But I don't know. But so why you would think that there wouldn't be a possibility that they would have? In fact, like I said, my last year, I remember by about mid-season, I had been dinged like 3 times, and not all bad where I was unconscious or anything, but just where I was a little off, and you could really tell you'd been knocked a little goofy, and so at that point I literally thought to myself, I got to start thinking about this because it's a lot. It's a lot happening in one season. I said, what happens if there's something? And I thought to myself, what happens if there's something after the football? And so I can't imagine that guys didn't think about the possibility. I think, and I hate to say this, but I think there's a lot of the former NFL guys that saw an opportunity to make some money.
Right.
And to be perfectly honest, I literally had guys saying to me, "Aren't you going to join you're not going to join the lawsuit?" And I'm like, "Well, no. I'm fine." And they said, and these guys were saying, "Hey, we can get like 100, 200 grand on this." I said, "Well, are you having a problem?" And, "Well, no, but we can get some money out of this." And I'm like, so you're going to compromise the reputation of the National Football League for making some money. And it really ticked me off. And so, it's something that happened. If you didn't think it was going to happen, they always worried about saying things like, well, they made me go back in. Or they made me feel like if I didn't go back in, you know what, you do that to yourself. As a player, you do that to yourself. I always did that to myself. Bob Golic, you okay? Yeah, I look out in the field and there's my backup. And he goes, why am I? Golic, you're not on our team. Get on the other sideline. I'm looking over at, I'm looking on the field and there's somebody else playing my position. And I'm thinking, I'm fine. I'm going back out there.
Go out there and be a star.
And if you say any different, then either you didn't love playing football or you're a liar.
Multiple generations of Golics obviously
Anyway,
played the
that's
game very well. at
Bob
Notre Dame.
Golic, Notre Dame, talking about a variety of things from him playing in NFL, Notre Dame, of course, concussion issue that concerns all of football. This is just the beginning of, I think it's going to be a special day here at AT&T Stadium, the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame event. You really think about it, in the history of the Cotton Bowl, the number of well-known football players that has played in this game, and you just saw just a few of them. We mentioned Joe Montana, Dan Marino, Ray James, and oh boy, a bunch more. Troy Aikman played in this game. Roger Staubach, Joe Theismann. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And every year, well, like every, let's see, how many? Like every 4 years, 5, 6. The Cotton Bowl honors these athletes who played in the biggest spotlight of them all, which is this is one of the premier bowl games in college football, and they pick 6 folks to put into the Hall of Fame, their Hall of Fame. And this is a program that goes all the way back a while, and for them doing this, it's a real cool thing, and so looking forward to the next group of folks that they vote and induct into the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. And my gosh, we're going to be there for that as well, as a matter of fact. So coming up, we have the Hall of Fame event. You just saw the interviews. Now we're going to show you the event and the actual induction to this Prime Hall of Fame. Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame event continues here on this special edition of the Donniesport Football Show, right here on the Donniesport 17 Network.
Since you used them in high school.